We got to take our evolutionary family seriously. Our evolutionary family is serious. We've got to be committed to them. And I'm gonna share with you, with your permission, this is a personal day, right? This is a holy day. It's a celebration day. So I want to share personally. I've given away, right? I don't know, you know, huge amount of the little money I have in the world, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? To people who are in my soul root family, right? Not biological family, right? Because I'm committed to them, right? And so it's always measured in terms of money, right? So what we do is we spend money only on our biological family, and our soul root family, our evolutionary family, we write them a nice note. No, you got to be committed all the way in the best way you can, obviously in the best way you can. And obviously we all have to balance those competing concerns. But I'll just tell you one thing. If you've got $10 million in the bank, right, and you're spending 9 million of it, on your biological family, right, and you're spending, 100,000 on your evolutionary family, there's something wrong. Right? That's a problem, right? That's actually a glorified form of racism. It's actually not per se true that, for example, your children deserve all your money. It's just not true, right? Your children deserve your support. They deserve your radical love. But because they're your biological children, it doesn't mean you should leave them all your money. You should actually think about, what do they need, what's appropriate, and what you should leave into the rest of the world, right? Which has powerful and gorgeous effect. And that's how I've personally spent my money, right? The little of it that I have, right? But it's a big deal, right? So we got to take evolutionary family seriously. We're radically committed, not less than, right? Not less than our biological family. That's a very big idea. When we go home on Christmas, we meet our biological family. And it's so important to do. And sometimes we feel like we're kids again. And sometimes we feel like all the old stuff comes up and all the old pain moves through us. And it does. And I hope that you were able to heal some of it this Christmas and this Hanukkah and this new year coming up, and that you'll be able to heal more of it next year. So don't turn away. Never turn away from your biological family, right? And one of my commitments this year is I've got to call my mom more often, right? Which I don't do well enough. Okay. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Okay. And be radically committed. Really know. Sit down and make a list. Who's in your evolutionary family? You get that as a practice? Who's in your Sopran family? Who are your real friends? Who would really show up for you? Who would you really show up? Who's in the first principles and first values with you together? Who do you have a shared vision with? Right? It's a big deal. So I want to just see if we can find that together. And when we can find it together, we can actually realize who we are. You see, with your evolutionary family, you don't have to play small. Do you get that? You don't have to play small. With your evolutionary family, you can actually be the king and queen, the prince and princess who you really are. With your evolutionary family, you can actually confess your greatness. Okay? You can confess your greatness. And reality, we need you to confess your greatness. Reality needs your service. This is such a deep idea that we talked about. Some of us talked about it in Holy of Holies this week, that actually reality needs, God needs, right? Reality manifested, the infinite manifested the finite, because the infinite needs to give, and the infinite needs to love, and the infinite doesn't want to have lunch alone. It's a very big deal. Infinity yearns for intimacy. Wow. So reality needs our service. Reality needs your service, and your service comes from your greatness, right? When you're in your joy, you can access your greatness, right? That's where you find your glory. And so with your evolutionary family, confess your greatness. With your evolutionary family, confess your deepest heart's desire. With your evolutionary family, you can take your unique risk, and your unique risk might be, wow, I'm going to plunge into this beautiful love, and I'm not sure what's going to come out of it, but I'm going to do it in such integrity that it's going to be an outrageous love story. With your evolutionary family, you can live your outrageous love stories, and they have different forms, right? Outrageous love story doesn't necessarily mean a romantic love story. It could be two sisters and two brothers, And it could be beloveds that come together in a particular way, or perhaps come together forever. But with your evolutionary family, you can take your unique risk. You can clarify your deepest heart's desire and live your deepest heart's desire. You can come together and form with your evolutionary family a particular quartet or a particular symphonic movement and the great unique self symphony, which is the goal of reality, the generation of a new form of intimacy. One of our core memes is that reality is the progressive deepening of intimacies. That's a core structural dimension of reality. And reality is now generating a new form of intimacy. And this new form of intimacy is evolutionary intimacy. That's your evolutionary family. And with my evolutionary family, I can live that new form of intimacy. And I can love wine and I can love broad, right? It's a big deal. Amor, and its insights are aligned with love. Can we feel that, friends? So let's stand for evolutionary family and soul root family. And we're not going to move and face and walk through this 11th hour of existential risk. And this is the last part of the code until we recognize that my family is not just the immediate group of people around me. No, that's not true. And my money, I'm going to say this again, my money is not mine. Anyone thinks their money is theirs, right? That's a joke, right? You were invested, you're holding your finances because you're given the privilege in this world to decide where and how to distribute it according to the highest principles of wisdom. And not just your money, but your time, your resource, your energy. Your energy is not yours. And our energy is a gift. I'm pouring energy, right, into all of us, right? And let's pour energy into each other now. Our energy is a gift. And we get to give our energy away in mad love consistently, steadily. And give your energy a place where you're going to stay for 10, 20, 30, 40 years and change the world with it. And we're coming together as a revolution, as an evolutionary family, right? As a planetary awakening in love through unique self symphonies, to give our resources, to give the best that we are. And when we give the best that we are, friends, we receive the best that the world has to offer in return. It's only in separate self that there's a contradiction between giving in, and receiving. Right? Either I'm putting money in the bank or I'm receiving money from the bank. Either I'm taking money out or putting money in. Either I'm giving or I'm receiving. That's the law of separate self. But that's the law of Homo sapiens. But the law of Homo amor, the law of evolutionary unique self, is that giving and receiving are one. And that's what we mean when we say the sexual models the erotic. And in great sexuality, like in great eros in every dimension of life, there's no split between giving and receiving.